The farming programme is a key initiative that really follows on from providing clean, safe water, and that provides nutrition and livelihood. It's very much working at the community level. The villagers all have their own family individual farms, but they give some of their time to the community initiative as well.
The women embark on this upland farming. They were planting beans and groundnut and so on. Now the children, their body begin to change because they now have good drinking water and nutrition food.
As the farming programme matured, we were becoming victims of our own success. As we were expanding, we were contravening one of our values of sustainability. We actually had to keep moving their farms, which meant slashing and burning to get back onto fertile land.
In common with all the other upland farming, once an area is cleared by slash and burn and cultivated, it rapidly loses its fertility.
We are fighting for the future, because if we continue this slashing and burning, at the end there will be no forest.
Knowing all the benefits the women's farms brought to the village, but also not wanting to increase the deforestation of the area, Tony particularly set his mind to work out a way in which we could combat slash and burn by developing permanent upland farms.
The thing that he felt had the most legs in terms of actually providing a long-term solution that would actually reduce the work for the farmers, would increase the yield, would actually regenerate the soil, was Inga alley cropping, the system that had been used in Honduras. So Tony and I went out to see that and met Mike Hans. Mike's been working with Inga around the world for more than 25 years, so we learnt a lot out in Honduras. He stressed how vital it was to have a demonstration farm with nursery and training facilities where farmers can really have some hands-on training and really see that the techniques are successful, because essentially in areas where people live on the edge, their land and their farming techniques are the difference between starvation or not.
There was a charity called Rainforest Savers working in Cameroon, which is quite close by within West Africa, who had been using Inga for some years. So Tony set up an exchange with the Inga trainer of Rainforest Savers, a guy called Gaston.
We managed to get some Inga seeds from Cameroon via Kenya in a couple of strange bags, got the right licensing in Sierra Leone, and in November 2018 we swapped some beekeeping tuition for some Inga tuition. We brought out about 1,000 seeds, 980 of which took in the 2 weeks we were out here.
Inga farming is something very important, not only for me, but for everybody. Inga is coming to help to recondition the soil for the farmers. If there is nothing done here, at the end of the day, before the rainy season finishes, you will see all this topsoil will be washed away and taken down the hill.
What happens in Inga alley cropping is the trees are planted in rows about 1/2 metre apart. The gap between the rows is about 4 metres, so you effectively have hedges. They grow up for between 2 and 3 years until the canopy closes overhead, shading the soil underneath. During all that time, the leaves have been falling and building up a blanket over the soil, which also suppresses weeds. So at the point that the weeds are suppressed, then the Inga is cut to approximately 5 foot, so it's pollarded. The wood is taken for firewood, and the leaves are laid on the ground, and then the crop is planted into that mulch. As it grows up, the Inga grows with it, shading and nurturing it. The crop grows, and the one that we've tried so far has been maize. It's harvested. The experiment that we did last year, we had 10 times the crop of maize in the Inga Alley than we did in the nearby normal farming plot. And the Inga is then left to recover. And we've seen when we travelled around that within those few months it is back to closing the canopy overhead. It's a very rapid recovery. So then the cycle repeats again, and the depth of the mulch increases each year. So unlike slash and burn, the land is becoming more fertile for the longer the Inga is there.
Farming with Inga means we are planting an enormous amount of trees. Inga actually sequesters carbon, so it's a massive environmental win-win. It not only regenerates the soil, it captures carbon, and it also reduces emissions because we're no longer slashing and burning. There's a lot of academic work going on to quantify all of this, and we're part of that, and actually it's looking really good. After we introduced Inga, we were really excited about all of the prospects for all of our projects. However, like the rest of the world, COVID got in the way. That was a difficult time, but it was doubly difficult because in that time we also lost Tony to cancer.
He was very determined that the work should continue, and he asked me explicitly whether I would take over the Inga, which was only just starting to develop, and he and I had spoken a lot about its potential and the potential for stopping slash and burn. So I was happy to do that and take that responsibility.
It's now May 2022, and this is our first trip out here after 2.5 years. We now have 3 years of Inga that has developed in its various stages. We have the demo farm and the nursery, and we have the setup that we had seen in Honduras. And it was a collaboration really from 3 continents: South America, Europe and Africa.
Inga increases yields. It also maintains the fertility of the soil.
The really lovely thing that we were able to do as well is to open the Inga Training Centre. Our partners, Lush, who funded the project, were just great to work with. From the outset, we had shared values about regeneration and really learning from the people and respecting local traditions. And they really understood the challenges of farming projects, or indeed any project in Africa. And like us, saw the massive potential for Inga alley cropping.
We constructed a training center, a water well, a tank, and a vast area of Inga nursery.
Tony would be really, really happy. It was very much his dream, and we've dedicated the Inga Training Centre in his name, and also in the name of Stephen's father, who also passed away in that same time period, because actually having access to land sort of in perpetuity to really invest in is very difficult in Africa in general and in Sierra Leone. And so he had the foresight to understand the importance of the trees and the forest and using the land.
This centre is dedicated to the lasting memory of Tony Ivan and Chief Kalfala Mansari.
So we invited all our people in Barry Chiefdom, and we were all there. We celebrated a lot. There was a lot of merriment, happiness within that center that day. And then all the chiefs in Barry Chiefdom were there, and some of them gave speeches about our good work, and they were also yearning to get the Inga as quickly as possible in their various communities so that they can do Inga farming.
We feel it's a real game changer. The potential for this farming technique that ticks humanitarian and environmental boxes is huge and transformative, making people's lives and the planet more resilient.